Hi, first graders. So we've been working a lot on measurement in chapter 9. And today we're going to start talking about another thing that you can measure, time. Clocks are tools that help us to tell time. And there are many different kinds of clocks. Together, we're going to watch a Brain Pop video that will explain the parts of a clock. I'm going to stop the video in between to ask you some questions or to make some comments. You can turn and talk to a stuffed animal or someone working with you to help answer these questions. As we watch this video, it will help us to understand our math teaching point today, which is right here. Mathematicians use clocks to tell time. They read both analog and digital clocks using the face of the clock. It is important to learn how to read time on a clock because people plan their day around time. So people go to school at a certain time, or they start doing certain work at a certain time, or maybe their playtime is a certain time, or their reading time is a certain time. If you don't know how to tell the time, how are you going to get all of those things done? So let's go ahead and watch the video. And like I said, I'm going to pause every once in a while to ask you some questions. You can talk to a stuffed animal or someone who is helping next to you. Okay? And this will help you to start really thinking about how we measure time. Parts of a clock.
What you reading? You can't actually read a clock, Moby. Well, a clock doesn't tell you much of a story. It tells you the time. A clock doesn't actually talk. It just, well, what is a clock? I know that a clock is a tool that we use to measure time, just like we use tools to measure height. All clocks measure the same time, even if they look really different. This is the type of clock we have in our classroom, and I have my own clock in my bedroom, and there's a clock in our living room. Oh yeah, and Grandpa has a clock on his arm, a watch. I guess clocks can tell time in different ways. Well, Grandpa's watch is digital, and the time is written out in numbers. And Mr. Patchouli says the clock in our classroom is analog. You have to figure out the time by looking at the face. What is the face of a clock?
So, what is a clock? Why don't you turn and tell your partner or your stuffed animal what a clock is? Okay, good job. We're going to keep going.
The face of a clock is the part with the numbers on it. Like on this clock, the face is the white part. There are 12 numbers that go around the face of a clock. Just like there are 12 inches on a ruler, or 12 months in a year. The 12 is always on the top, and the 6 is always on the bottom.
So what is a face of a clock? Again, tell your partner. Good job. Let's continue.
But the face and numbers don't tell time by themselves. What do the hands on the clock do? The hands are the part of the clock that point to the numbers. I know they aren't really hands. That's just what they're called. The little hand is called the hour hand because it shows the hour. And the big hand is called the minute hand because it shows the minutes. While the minute hand goes all the way around the clock, the hour hand moves from one number to the next. So the hour hand moves slower than the minute hand.
Did you notice how that hour hand took a long time to get from 1 to 2? It took the minute hand all the way around the clock in order for the hour hand to go from 1 to 2. That's important to remember.
And the hands always move in one direction. It's called clockwise. No, the hands never go backwards. That's called counterclockwise. But check it out, Moby. There are clocks everywhere. I guess people need clocks to know the time.
What do the hands on the clocks do? We just learned a whole bunch of information about the hands of the clock, that there's an hour hand and a minute hand. So what do they do? Turn and tell your partner.
But why is time so important? Every morning my alarm clock wakes me up for school. Come on, Moby, it's time to wake up. We don't want to be late. I know the bus comes at 8 o'clock, so we have to make sure we're at the bus stop before it comes. I guess time is important because we used to plan the day. Moby, it's not time for lunch yet. There are a lot of times to remember, like our school starts at 8:30. Oh, and we have music at 2 o'clock. And I know the most important time of all, free time.
So why is time important? Why should we know how to tell the time on a clock? Turn and tell your partner. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you what your math work is today. It's a little bit different than what it's been because it's not a worksheet of any sort. It is actually going to be to go on a clock walk around your home. So here's your directions. Go on a walk around your home and look for clocks. Describe what the clock looks like and how it tells time. Answer these questions in a journal or make a video of yourself answering these questions. Is it digital or analog clock? Does it ring at the hour? Point out the hour and the minute hands on each analog clock and point out which numbers refer to the hour and minute hands on a digital clock. Explain which clock is easiest to read, analog or digital, and why. You can do that in a math journal, or you can answer those questions on video so that we can watch your videos. Okay, mathematicians, off you go. Have fun on your clock walk. Bye.